Hey, how you doing? Dennis here, and today I'm using Figma's auto layout to help me figure out the specs to cut a piece of aluminum to repair a boat. Here's our piece of bent fence. We're going to attempt to straighten this out, but this isn't the real problem. The major problem is back here. You see there's a crack in the fence right here on this seam. As we straighten this out, it's probably going to open up and make it worse. So I have a plan on how to repair this, but I want to test out some ideas first. So I'm going to take some measurements and I'll see you inside. So our fence posts are 1 inch thick, they're 8.5 inches apart. Our middle brace has the bolt, which is 5 inches down from the top of the fence, and the back posts are at 45 degrees. So I want to cut a piece of aluminum in this shape, and I'm going to use the bolt that's already there to attach it at the bottom and use some smaller hex bolts at the top. Let's get started. I'm going to draw a section of my fencing first. Draw a rectangle. Duplicate. Make the bottom bar a little bit longer. Select them both. Put the space between at 8.5. Draw another rectangle. Move it into position. Duplicate. Rotate it 45 degrees. Line it up in position. Duplicate it. And there's our fence. I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to call it bolt 1. I'm going to make them 1/4 inch. Duplicate it 3 times. Select all. I'm going to wrap them in an auto layout. Give it a fill. I'm going to make it 1 inch tall. I'm going to round the top corners by 1/4 inch. Set the space between the auto. Put a 1/2 inch on the sides. Align it in the center. Select my bolts. Let's make them black. Let's call this the top. And now the space between my bolts will be even at any size. Duplicate it. I'm going to call this the middle. Delete 3 circles. I'm going to make it 1 inch wide by 5 high. I'm going to remove the rounded corners, reset auto to 0, remove my outside padding, and align top center. I'm going to put 4 inches on the top. Draw a rectangle. Duplicate it. Wrap these in an auto layout. 0 space between. Let's call this the bottom. I'm going to select one of my rectangles. I'm going to edit the shape, select the pen tool, hold down the Option key, and click to remove this corner point. Now select the other rectangle and do the same thing on this side. Select both rectangles and set the width and height to fill container. Select the middle and set just the height to fill container. Now I can resize this with my center bolt always being in the right position. Select the top and bottom, apply an auto layout, set the space between at 0, select the bottom, set the width and height to fill container, select the top, and set just the width to fill container. Let's call this plate. And there's my flexible template. Let's try it out. Let's drop it in with our fence, put it up here in position. Let's try it at 11. It matches the 45-degree angle of the back, but it feels too large. Let's try it smaller. Maybe too many bolts when it's this small. Let's hide one of those. I don't know if this will give me the support I want. Let's try it at 9. That looks pretty good, but I still think it feels a little bit big. Let's try 7 by 6. Yeah, somewhere in the middle. I like the angles. Let's change these panels to white so it's one color. Yeah, I think that's the winner. Isolate the template. Scale at 0.72 because there's 72 pixels per inch. Give everything a border. Set up for export. Select PDF. And export the template. Let's open it up and take a look. Looks good. Okay, so I printed that PDF and I traced it onto this piece of cardboard. I took it down to the boat to check the size, and then we used this as our template to cut the aluminum. We cut 2 pieces so we can put one on both sides. Once we have it installed, I'll show you how it turned out. So we were able to straighten the rail out, and we put a support underneath it. The crack did open up a bit, but here is our Figma aluminum plate to reinforce the fence. We did the same thing on both sides to be symmetrical and look like part of the boat design. I know this is not your typical Figma tutorial, but thanks so much for watching. Special shout out to my brother-in-law. I couldn't have done this without him. I'll see you for more lessons real soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.